Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks, the only podcast that taketh your first world problems and then puts them verily into a vat of boiling witch potion, and out pops a devilish and magical solution. I'm your host for this week, Dominic Alexander.
I'm your confused participant, Ross, for this week.
And I am Daniel Hoare, Esquire.
Esquire. We're back again. Sorry for missing the last
week.
Yeah,
just week, wasn't it?
Just the 1 week.
Yeah,
felt like longer.
It did,
It did feel like longer.
It did feel like longer.
My weeks seem to drag when I don't see you
The problem is, Dan and I have started a new routine,
Yes.
and it's just sort of gotten a bit to the point where we needed to just batten down the hatches a bit and make some money, because this definitely doesn't. So
no, it does not.
We could go back. We could do 5 weekly if you guys will pay us to do it.
The amount of ideas we've had, we've gone, this time next year, we're going to be rich beyond our wildest dreams. And then we do things like this.
yes. So yes, sorry for missing last week.
Yes.
We'll hope to resume normal scheduling shortly. So,
Yeah.
how is everyone?
I'm well.
I'm so tired.
Sorry for my shouting off mic there. The dog was eating a strawberry
Oh
love
yes,
heart.
Yes,
we have
guest host this
guest
week.
host this week. Letty, Ross's dog.
Yeah.
Rog.
She's walking around the office clearing up all the sweets.
Ah,
Yeah.
good.
She had one of those little fizzy flying saucers just now, and if she'd have managed to pop that, she'd have been in quite some discomfort, I'm sure.
I imagine she would have been. Now her guts will only be in discomfort.
Yeah, well, I've got it off of her before she popped it. So.
I've got to say that over the weekend, because obviously we should sort of just point out that we record on a Monday.
Yeah.
So Monday is our day to record podcasts. So, you know, it's Monday blues today. So I guess that's the benefit of working a 9 to 5 is that you get weekends off. The downside is that you have Mondays.
Yeah.
But you do get to look forward to Fridays. I'm finally one of these people who gets to look forward to Fridays.
I'm back in retail again for the time being.
Ooh.
Are you doing a weekend off thing, or
Well, I think I've managed to get every Sunday off.
is that for
That's
church?
not too bad.
But I just said
Yes,
I
for
won't.
religious reasons.
I just said I won't come back if I can't.
If I have to work the Lord's Day,
If I have to work Sundays.
I can't work Sunday for religious reasons. Please specify. I need to bash the bishop.
I've got a meeting with some sinister minister.
I've got a biblical snake to sort out.
A biblical snake, yeah.
Yeah, so you know, I'm getting into this new routine. So Mondays are actually becoming sort of actual Mondays for me. But over the weekend just gone, we house sat for Lauren,
Auntie Brown.
Auntie Bram again, and her wife, now wife.
you babysat her wife, or did her wife go away as well?
They both went away.
Okay.
Yeah, we weren't like Emily sitting.
Yeah, I thought maybe
Where
she
did they
needed
go?
a babysitter.
They went to a christening.
Ah.
So we house sat and / puppy sat / cat
How
sat.
is Truly?
Truly is very well behaved.
Oh,
Still very small.
She's still quite small, but she's getting longer. She's yet to grow into her ears. Her ears are like extremely low now.
because I house set for the Bramley Greens recently,
Yes, just after me.
and just had a whole week of looking after Trudy. Because at the time I was unemployed, so therefore I could. I spent the entire week with a puppy by myself.
Oh, that's
So
quite
by the end
sweet,
of it,
though.
I was equal parts insane and satisfied at the amount of cuteness.
We'll post the photo shoot pictures on the See If It's
Dom doing a shave with the dog in the background,
Yeah.
rinsing his hair in the shower with the dog on the
with
shoulder.
the dog in the shower. Yeah.
Using the dog as a beard after the shave.
Well, so on the Saturday night, Maddie and I made like a healthy fajita recipe.
Very nice.
Is there such a thing?
It was good. Yeah, well, so I'm not going to go into the details.
I had
No.
fajitas Saturday night as well. What are the chances?
Oh,
Mine was not healthy.
no,
No.
you know, sort of.
I haven't had fajitas in a while.
I quite like a fajita.
Well,
But-
who doesn't?
But this was sort of like a bit of a healthier fajita based recipe.
Oh,
What makes it more healthy?
So just sort of like the parts where, you know, usually fajita, it's got sort of like, you know, fajita seasoning, whether it's sort of dry or whatever you want to use with it. usually has sort of like a lot of sugar in it.
Yes,
that kind of thing.
Or any of those powdery sauces.
Yeah,
do.
like any sort of like Cajun or barbecue sort of taste.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of sugar in it.
And salt as well.
Yeah, so this was sort of like when you made the fajita mix. It was a bit of sort of like chipotle sauce and some onion and garlic. And
Love a bit of chipotle paste.
I just love the idea of doing it all from scratch. I'm just way too lazy.
Well, do you know what? It wasn't too bad. There was one really awful part, which was the Jamie Oliver recipe specified that you needed to blacken the peppers instead of sort of like frying the peppers and that sort of thing. You blacken them over either an open flame or in a griddle pan.
Yeah.
Which we tried to do unsuccessfully. Fortunately, the Bramley Greens are avid cake makers, so I suspected that they may have a blowtorch in the cupboard.
Did they?
Oh my goodness! Have you ever used one of those? They're so much fun.
Yeah.
For the creme brulees.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've used them actually to make a creme brulee.
So I
Have you?
used that to blacken the peppers and the aubergine.
That's the way you should do it.
Yes. Well,
With a
do you know
blowtorch.
what? It was bloody awful.
Yeah.
Because what you do after you've blackened the peppers and the aubergine is you have to scrape off all the black stuff and just use the withered husk of the peppers and like.
Seems like a lot of extra effort for not a lot of extra flavour.
Oh, do you know what? It was a bit of a pain in the arse.
So I do the opposite. Whenever I make a fajita, I cook the chicken, so it's pretty much done. I chuck the veg and the onions and all that in. I know onions are veg. Sprinkle on the stuff, like 2 more minutes and I'm done. And I don't want the veg to be very well cooked. I want it all crispy and...
Al dente.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, when
Yeah.
something's slightly hard
Yeah.
from cooking.
Yeah.
Like I like my pasta al dente.
I know, I like my veg to be crunchy.
Al dente.
So, yeah.
So while we were sitting there eating dinner, the cat strode into the kitchen.
Of course he did.
And despite my
King George.
best efforts to stop him, he got up on the chair next to me.
Did he have a little bit of fajita?
Well, no, it was. Well, the thing is, it was.
It's got no teeth, Ross.
It was.
Did it suck on a bit of fajita?
we served it help yourself style. So there was a plate of chicken, a plate of peppers, and etc. etc. And he was insistently trying to get up, and for a second, I kind of the bit where you sort of like anthropomorphize the animals, don't you? And you kind of think, well, George knows where it's at. He knows that I'm not going to stand for any shit if he tries to get up at the table. He'll just sit on that chair like a good boy. Of course, he fucking didn't. But what he managed to, as I looked away and he jumped up, what he managed to lay his paw on was the spicy fajita plate. And I've got to admit, there was just a moment where I just let him do it. Because there's only one way he's going to learn this lesson.
Licking that spicy sauce off his paws.
He got down from the chair. If George has been shitting over the house for the rest of the week, Lauren and Emily, I apologise.
Running around chasing his own butt.
I've got my own culinary news.
Oh, okay.
So Jem and I, for this week, because I'm staying at Jem's this week, are...
Your girlfriend, Jem.
My girlfriend Jem, if the uninitiated. No, my mistress Jem.
Which Jem?
Which Jem?
Which
I've
of the
got
gems?
So many gems. Yet I am rich in love. We are trying to, not because of any particular reason, but just to see how it goes, to go vegan for the week.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. We're
Does it?
doing,
Yeah, I'd love to go vegan.
just for the week. I'm still having milk in my coffee. It's not a moral thing. It's more from
So
a...
you're not going vegan
No,
then?
it's not going vegan.
Well, no, semi-vegan. All right, we're going semi-vegan for the week. All our meals are going to be vegan. But I just want to see what it's like to adopt a plant-based diet. For
I'm
a
going
week.
vegan for the week as well, apart from the milk in my coffee.
and the steak on your
and
plate.
meat and sausages.
No, I'm not having any meat or anything this week. Okay. No meat, no eggs.
What is the purpose of this? Because to save the planet, cruelty to animals?
Those things are bonuses, but it's more for health.
Yeah.
Because I obviously, everyone suffers a bit with their guts occasionally, me especially, and I just wonder if I swap over to a completely plant-based diet.
Do you not fear that in the same way that people develop peanut allergies because their parents don't let them anywhere near peanuts? That
I'll never develop an allergy to meat.
That the more you delve away
Allergic to
from
pigs.
meat, the less your body is going to be able to handle eating.
I gave up bread for a long time, and when I went back onto bread, I felt like shit.
Yeah.
I had the worst
The thing
stomach.
is, meat isn't great for you in large quantities.
No, red meat isn't.
Oh, well, apparently white meat isn't as well.
According to who? It's just a Daily
It's
Mail
a number of
thing.
studies. It's because the amount of salt water we use to pump into our chicken and pork and stuff like that.
Well, this is the problem.
That's
isn't
quite
it?
high in
the, problem
sodium.
the actual problem with the with sort of agriculture isn't that we shouldn't be eating chicken
It's the
or
processes.
beef or pork.
course it
It's
is, yeah.
because the
Processed
chicken
foods.
is pumped full of shit. The beef is pumped full of shit. It's all over farmed. People, like it's the on demand society. That's the problem. Like people. I know it's a very popular thing at the moment to go sort of vegan because you feel like you're doing your part to save the planet. And we've discussed it on this podcast, and I completely agree with it because there is a shitload of over farming. But there's also a problem with people who want to, have asparagus every fucking day of the year.
Oh,
And so
gotcha, yeah.
we fly asparagus over. I want fresh tomatoes every day. We fly tomatoes over. You want everything from every part of the world at all times, all year. And then people
So
go
the carbon
people-
footprint on a piece of
Do you know what?
asparagus
I
is
think
massive.
it's quite novel eating seasonally, though.
Well-
Eating properly seasonally.
Well, the thing is, it's just difficult to do, isn't it? The problem is that there's a really nice farm shop 5 minutes down the road from me that sell seasonal produce, and meat is always in season. You don't. It doesn't have to be a particular time
Rabbit
of year
season.
to rear a cow or whatever like that. And they sell seasonal veg and proper meat. Actual properly farmed meat
That
not
hasn't been pumped full of shit. Yeah.
And ironically, all you go down there and buy some chicken that isn't pumped full of shit. It's a damn sight fucking bigger than the chicken that is pumped full of shit. Like
Yeah.
it's
Very odd.
it's really really ridiculous and tasty. You can taste the difference, but I go fucking bankrupt if that's all I ate.
yeah.
Yeah, it would. Yeah,
That's the problem because now we
even being a vegan, so expensive.
because we've diverged.
It's not quite as expensive as you think.
No,
We've
d-
planned out a week of meals and it only cost us like regular sort of amount
yeah.
from the supermarket.
Well, basically, we've diverged so far away from eating fresh, sort of like foods and consuming fresh things that you pay a premium for that now. It's like a novelty to go and do it. It shouldn't be.
You should really. You should only eat stuff that grows near you. You shouldn't be bringing it in from other countries, especially.
But the thing is, I went over the road. I was at my the design studio for my new job in Betherston, which is sort of just outside of Ashford, down in Kent. And the little sort of shop there sells milk. And we were making some coffees, so I went across the road to get some milk. And what they sell milk from a farm up the road. And when I took it back to the office, it's all well and good, and it's nice milk, like really nice milk. But the problem is that it still costs £1.20 to buy 2 pints of it, which is more expensive than you're going to pay in the supermarket. But that's fine. That's a corner shop price. That's a little post office and a little village. Things are obviously going to be more expensive. But the biggest problem is that the guys who have worked in that office for years said, yeah, that milk's really nice, but it goes out of date in 2 days. So
Because it hasn't got preservatives in it.
we always bring in milk from Tesco. Because when your whole office is drinking coffee every day, you want the biggest bang for your buck. So you can get 4 pints for cheaper, and it lasts for a week and a half.
Yeah.
And that's a no-brainer because who wants to keep going out to the shop? If I could buy a month's worth of food, and just out of ease, if I could buy a month's worth of food and know that it's going to last a month, and I wouldn't have to go food shopping again, I could go food shopping once a month.
Yeah.
I'd do it
Yeah.
because I subscribe to this culture as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's getting a bit deep.
It is a little bit.
Shall I do my problem?
Do you have a problem?
I do have a problem.
Is it food? No, I'm joking.
Fucking vegans.
It's to do with modern agriculture.
It's not to do with modern agriculture. It is to do with my new job though.
Ah.
So obviously with my new job, I've been doing sort of a little bit of travel around the UK. Highlights over the last few weeks have been Leicester twice.
Say highlights.
Manchester, Bristol, London, Surrey, all over.
I've never been to Leicester.
I've been twice. So I've seen basically the same bit twice.
Any good?
Well, the hospital's nice.
All towns look the same now,
Sort of.
anyway. If you go to any town, they all look like Canterbury.
It is basically the same, yeah.
Same fucking shops. Same boring old shit.
So my problem, like there's lots of problems that can come from this, and we've done a lot of them. I've had to take trains. We've done a lot of stuff.
We've done trains, planes, and automobiles.
We have.
Yeah.
We have. Yeah, I've got to catch a plane on Wednesday.
Yeah.
By the time this podcast has come out, I would have returned. So you could be hearing me from beyond the grave if the plane ride doesn't go well.
Don't ride many planes then. He rides one plane, thinks he's going to die.
Just in case.
You'll be all right. You'll be fine.
Never
I've ridden
know.
many a plane to many a land.
I've ridden many a plane to many a land.
You'll be fine. You're only going up the road.
Yeah, I know. But but with that kind of attitude, that's why.
Don't wear a seatbelt. I'm only going up the shops.
That's
isn't
why it's doomed to fail, because people like you say, "Don't worry, you're only going from London."
I think it's bored.
Don't worry, you're only going from London to Glasgow. We won't bother checking that there's enough petrol in it.
And don't put petrol in it for a start.
Pretty sure, I was about to say, pretty sure you don't get unleaded 95 in a jet engine.
Yeah, they'd have to pull over in Leicester. or even worse, my plane would be pulling over in Milton Tovey and paying ridiculous village prices for petrol.
£1.30 a litre. Anybody got a spare 20 grand?
All the seats have gone up by £1.
Yeah.
So that's fine, because we've solved all these problems. I'll tell you what my biggest problem is that last week,
Working.
last week, in general, it's sort of like a bit of driving, a little bit of trains. Last week was quite a bit of driving. I was going to and from Surrey, I think for 4 out of my 5 days last week. And the traffic's bad, which we've discussed at length, and roadworks and all those kind of things. People who can't fucking drive. We've done a lot of driving.
I drove on a Sunday this week. Fuck. They can't drive.
My God.
Oh my God, Sundays.
But I've encountered a new problem while I'm driving.
Go on.
Like, I'm starting to get used to the length of because I don't really like driving too much, and so longer journeys seem to they don't sit well with me. But I was starting to get used to that.
We were discussing that the other day, me and Stu, actually, funnily enough, because Stu asked me how's Dan getting on in his new job, and I said, "Oh yeah, really well. Like, he's driving all over the place." And he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, he's gonna learn." I was like, "Yeah," because obviously in the past I've done a lot of driving around, so Stu for his, but yeah. We're just sort of rubbing our hands together for all.
Have you started tailgating people in the fast lane and flashing them yet?
Yeah.
Because that'll happen. It'll come.
Well, do you know what the thing is that I'm trying to be sort of a little bit zen about it when I'm driving and not get too worked up and not like.
It'll get you.
The thing is, like, I look at my my Waze and I'll plug in a journey and it'll tell me an amount, and then in any one sort of 2 hour journey, it will go up to 2 hours and 30, then down to an hour and 45, and then up again, then down again. And to begin with, when I've previously done the occasional long journey and that happens, I get really wound up. And every time the time goes up, I'll put my fucking foot down, I'm flashing people in the fast lane. And then every time it goes down, I'm like, oh, I'll pull over and buy some fucking Krispy Kremes.
Yeah.
But now that I'm sort of starting to get into the rhythm of it, I'm just kind of learning just not to,
there isn't anything you can do about it. You're a passenger, even though you're driving. You're just a passenger.
You know what I've done?
The big wheel of the M25.
I've done more in the last 3 weeks. I've done more inside lane driving, just in the slow lane, doing 70 miles an hour, just sitting there and waiting to, just occasionally overtake a bloody minivan or something.
In traffic, the slow lane moves faster.
Yeah, I've just done more of that. I've just done more sort of going, you know what, I'm just at the mercy of the traffic. It's pointless getting worked up about it and trying to, and the amount of accidents that I've seen over the last few weeks as well. I just kind of think, you know what, I fucking can't be asked to drive like a dickhead. I might as well just sit here, drive like you're supposed to drive, When the traffic builds up, I'm not having to slam my brakes on. When the traffic's good, I make really good time. And
If everyone drove like you, Dan, there would be no traffic.
Oh, I know, yeah, but we've discussed that at length.
If everyone moved over to the left when they weren't overtaking
So what's
anyone,
the new problem?
So I've discovered the new problem. Right,
go on.
just when you're doing a long journey, not even necessarily long, you know,
Over an hour,
you know, over an hour, right? My comfort levels in the car drop dramatically. First half an hour, it's okay, right? And I'm not talking about like, you know, it like having to keep my foot on the pedal and that, because I know, you know, there's cruise control and things like that, and I haven't got it. And I'm not talking about like, you know, the temperature in the car or the speed that I'm going. I just mean like the overall chi being in the car.
It's concentrating for a long period of time.
I'm concentrating, right, on the road, but I'm also getting bored. So you try to sort of occupy yourself. And I've got a podcast on in the car, and then sometimes it skips to a podcast that I don't really want to listen to, or I fancy changing it, right? And then I'm running the risk of like doing something stupid because I'm doing 70 miles an hour and I need to look at the screen to change it. So at that point, I kind of think, well, you know, I'm in pretty, you know, moderate traffic. So I'm not going to look down at the screen, because I've seen firsthand from videos on your dash cam and on our friend Chris's dash cam that it only takes 1 second to look down at your screen for the car in front of you to brake. And you know, I do not want to fucking crash my car.
No, you don't.
So, you know, I sort of, you know, so there's that. And then I try to argue with Siri a bit and
I'll get the amp Siri
get them to try and change podcasts, but you're in fucking traffic. The car is noisy. He never fucking understands you. And then there is, you know, the added thing that, you know, I could do with some cruise control probably, that, you know, I want to bring my right leg up, but you can't really bring your right leg up. So you try and overcompensate with your left leg and it gets wedged next to you. Car seats, you know, they're never going to be an armchair, are they? Plus,
if you buy the right car, they are.
Plus the thing is,
Bentley.
Plus the thing is, right, I do not do well. You probably, you know, I don't know if you could hear on the actual recording of this podcast, I fidget around a lot.
Yeah.
Like when I'm sitting in a chair, I cross one leg over, and then a couple of minutes later, I'll cross the other leg over. Like, I'm a person who's always moving. I'll sit on my leg. I'll sit on my knees. I don't fucking know. I never ever sit in this straight up position with 2 legs down for more than about 5 minutes without getting kind of uncomfortable. I'm a real fidgeter.
I'm a fidgeter the rest of the time, but when I'm in a car, I'm comfy. Don't know why. That car position, I'm quite comfortable as a driver anyway. But if you there are like the Fiesta I've got now, after an hour of driving that, I want to pull over and have a break. But when I had the BMW 3 Series, which was automatic as well, I could easily do 3 hours before I stopped, and I'd be fine. That thing pretty much drove itself. It had cruise control. It was automatic. I could rest my left leg. If I was starting to get a bit bored, I'd use my left leg to drive. Just for fun. And
I drove my MG ZR from Herne Bay to Frankfurt on one stop.
yeah,
Obviously, one big stop.
you obviously had to do that. You must have been on a time limit. Otherwise, you would have stopped more, right?
No.
You just didn't fancy
fancied
stopping.
it. Because you know when you just sit there and you go, fuck it, I'm not going to stop.
Sometimes
Don't need a piss.
You know, I agree, because I sometimes I do try and do the same. When my girlfriend Maddie and I went down to Cornwall over a few weeks ago, it was like a 6.5 hour drive. So on the way there, where I'm not sort of like used to doing a 6.5 hour drive particularly, you know, it's like I'm wanting to stop every 2 hours.
I normally, for a 6 hour drive, I'd stop every 2 hours.
To grab a coffee or whatever. On the way back, I was just like, I'm just going to drive. I'm going to drive for as long as possible until my bladder gives out, and then I will pull over. And that's what I did. You know, the first stop was after about 3 hours, and then I think we did stop at one other point, but we weren't very far away. It was just a case of I need to piss.
How many gears did your car have? Did it have 6?
5.
That's 5. So it's not really a motorway car. If you had a 6th gear and you had cruise control, you probably wouldn't have a lot of these problems. I think a lot of that goes away with those two things.
That is true.
How does 6th gear help?
6th gear really helps.
Oh,
I've got 5 gears in that Fiesta and I fucking hate it. It's not a motorway car.
See, I don't have
you
6
don't have
gears.
to concentrate on your right foot as much. So like every little movement of your right foot when you've got 5 gears is a decelerator or an accelerator. It's like that, head back, head
I
forwards.
don't really concentrate on my right foot anyway.
But with a sixth gear, that's a lot smoother. Your right foot, you get a lot more leeway.
It's just
and cruise control.
It's
Obviously.
just the general, the general thing. I feel like my general
State of
mind decreases when I'm in the car. You start to zone out.
Well, the good news is, within 10 years, you're probably not going to have to drive anymore.
Well, the bad news is that I'm not fucking rich, and that's going to be who's going to be able to afford self-driving cars.
Well, they don't think that anyone's going to own them. They think that everyone's just going to hop in one, pay
it's
for
gonna
that
be a
journey.
municipal thing.
Yeah, they think it's just going to be like a government-owned or a certain company's going to own it, and you're just going to pay like an Uber.
Like a Boris bike.
Yeah, like a Boris
It's
bike.
infrastructure.
Car,
it's
yeah,
like infrastructure.
and it's going to work
not
out
Boris
cheaper.
bikes anymore, they're Santander bikes.
Oh, sorry.
And yeah, it's not Boris anymore either, is it? But it's going to work out cheaper than owning a car for most people. And then some people, I guess, will just own one if it works out cheaper.
But then the problem is that if I'm not bothering to drive the car, I want to watch a film and that in there.
Exactly. Yeah, you can watch a film in the car. They reckon that the whole concept of a car will change because it will no longer have to be car shaped. So they think some of them can have beds in them. Some of them can have a shower in them. If you've got something you want to do on your way to work, there will be a car. You call the shower car, or you call the bed car.
You can go to the gym and have a shower on the way to work.
You could call the gym car, and the gym car will turn up with a little gym in it. It'll be like a little van with a little gym in it, and you could do your exercise on your way to work, have a shower, pop out the other side. And they reckon that's what's going to change so much.
Massage.
They'll have everything.
It's going to be. It's just like fucking like Thunderbird 2. It's going to like go and pick up a little capsule, and then that's what it's going to pick up. That's actually quite a good idea. That's how they should do it, isn't it? That really is how they should do it. Get like a little some sort of like shipping container plopped on the back.
What are the magic words? I'm not saying it. Say the magic. FAB.
Okay,
FAB, Virgil. Okay, in you come. But I like the idea of that, but I will miss driving. I really will, because I love driving. I love doing it.
But then driving might become more of a leisure pursuit. So for people like yourself who enjoy a good drive, and I'm not discounting myself out of this, you can go and just do a track day, and it won't be mega money.
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember like...
It'll be like having a bike, like a racing bike.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a racing
So I can own a
bicycle.
car, but it would just be a racing car.
Yeah, just be a race car.
Then I could call the tow trailer truck that comes to get me and picks me up and takes me to the
Just
track.
call the flatbed capsule.
That's it.
That
Flatbed
zooms up
capsule.
and goes beep, beep, beep.
I drive it onto the back.
come to convey your car to the racetrack, sir.
No more spare tyres.
all of the self-driving cars are going to have the voice of Marvin the Martian.
Yes. Or maybe you could choose your personality of your cars as part of your package to self-driving capsule corporation.
Yeah, it'll read the settings off your phone as it turns
And it'd
up.
just be like,
Yeah.
you prefer a Marvin the Martian voice with a brusque manner. Get in, or something like that. I don't know.
Going down. Going down.
Ross wants droopy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so happy.
Oh no.
You have to do the mouth shape as well. With the jowls.
It helps to do it.
But I think that you just need to sit it out, Dan. I think your time is coming.
I want to retire at 39.
Do you? Fucking how much is this new job paying?
Well, I've got,
2 pennies and a peanut.
I've got to make my name in my new field in 10 years, mate.
Yeah, do it. I
There's
believe
not many
in you.
clowns around, so there's definitely a niche there.
If anyone can do it, you can.
Yeah.
Dan. We believe in you.
You know how that makes me feel, that joke?
That was terrible.
I know.
Wait, you whistle.
There we go. But that also made me feel...
The dog's confused as to what's going on. There's people whistling.
She's like,
she's not getting any food.
Where am I going?
One of them sounds sad and the other one sounds happy. Letty only understands clown.
So these new cars will be like clown cars. That'll be even better
Like
for you.
50 people in them.
Yeah. You can have those giant, those buses they put.
Yeah, this is why it's a fucking awful idea, because you're going to call the gym car. It's going to be like just like every other gym. You're going to get in it. Someone doesn't wipe down the machine. It's going to be 20
hench guy at the mirror checking himself out doing an Instagram.
Yeah, there's going to be 20 people waiting to use the one machine you were hoping to use.
No, it'll be a gym just for you. Be a little gym. Tiny
Be a little
gym with
personal
everything
gym.
you need. Everything you need in there, ordered for you, especially.
Be like,
Back at the little pod warehouse, someone will load it up with the stuff it needs with their little.
Well,
he's the guy that wipes down the loads.
Well, the gym that I would like is a Jim Broadbent, please. Have a Jim Broadbent. Who just pop.
I'm
him
sure
on-
you could
just
get
pop
his
him on the
voice.
back.
Yeah, I'm sure he would voice a
I'm sure.
cab for you.
Yeah. A capsulated Jim Broadbent.
The gym that I least want is Jim Carrey because he's gone insane.
Yeah, old Jim Carrey's fine.
That was too energetic for me on a commute.
Yeah, especially first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Jim.
Alrighty, shut the fuck up.
You picked me.
Smoking! And then he gets stuck on the smoking loop. And then
Yeah, it's because I accidentally pressed the wrong Jim on my.
I was ready Jim Morrissey.
when the time comes. Jim Morrison.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding,
Still too
ding,
energetic.
ding.
First thing in the morning.
What's a low energy gym?
Well, Jimi Hendrix doesn't do much these days.
That's true. But his music's
Nor does
pretty.
Jimmy Savile.
That's the wrong kind of energy
Yes,
gym.
that's the
Imagine
wrong
seeing that
kind
when the
of
door opens.
What hologram?
energy. The reanimated corpse of Jimmy Savile. Well, Jim Broadbent's quite a low energy. Well, you want something,
Yeah.
you want something mid, don't you? You want something like a coffee, perk you up, but sort of warm your cockles.
So you want someone who's calm but also funny. That's kind of Jim Broadbent, isn't it?
Yeah, Jim Broadbent could probably do
I
that.
can't think of any more gyms. So Jim Broadbent, yeah.
Well, you got Jimmy Carr.
Yeah.
I think that's too on the nose, though, isn't it? When you're ordering one of these,
Yeah.
Jim Davidson.
Jim David.
Oh, I don't like my morning with a shot of mild racism.
That's what I
So
say,
it's
it's
not
a
mild.
touch on the racist side. I met Jim Davidson.
Did you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he have his
What do
no
you-
dad on?
Sorry,
Did he have his no dad on?
he's what?
No dad, the little waistcoat. So he's called them no dads, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll be snookering you tonight.
Big butt!
Yeah, I met him at a celebrity golf spectacular.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a knobhead.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
It comes across.
Don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
No.
There were lots of people there. There used to be a guy in Canterbury who was sort of quite a local celebrity called Dave Lee.
Yes. He was in all the pantos.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
like he was sort of a bit of a
Comedian.
he was a comedian, yeah, and like he was like very
He's always played like the widow twanker.
yeah. He was very involved in charity.
He's a bit like
and
Biggins.
stuff like that.
But
yeah,
for Canterbury.
yeah.
He's Canterbury's Biggins.
So, so Dave Lee every year used to put on this celebrity golf spectacular thing, and so what the whole point was that sort of people who played golf would, I suppose wealthy people would pay money, I guess, to sort of have a round of golf with a celebrity, and then you
Who's
could.
paying to have a round of golf with Jim Davidson?
Well, the thing is, I think it was all for charity kind of thing.
Was he your granddad?
No. I just went there a couple of years. And there was all sorts of things there. They had, they had some like fun fair games and
Yeah.
tombolas and things like that. And
Never see a good tombola anymore.
no, well, but I probably stopped doing them because I used to cheat at them all the time. I was really awful.
How do you cheat at a tombola?
Well, when you put your hand in, you wear like a long sleeve hoodie, and then you put your hand
A
in.
sticky glove.
You put your hand in, and you stuff up both sleeves like an entire handful of tickets, and then you bring one out in view of the person who's running the tombola, and then you sort of gingerly start putting one hand, because you do that sort of process when you're doing the sort of like they've given it a mix up, and then you sort of go in and you do the whole like people do when they come like, oh, what's in here, using my lucky fingertips or some shit like that. But what you actually do is stuff a load of the things up your sleeves, and then you bring one out, and then you bring 2, 3, 4. Usually you get sort of 5 for £1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then go away and see how much you won.
All right.
I won shitloads.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But it's even better if you go back and spend a £5 throughout the day. But I will say that I did also donate to charity afterwards,
Oh, well, that's good.
because it wasn't really fair. I realised that about halfway through the day, that we were at a celebrity golf thing. Also, I was only about 13, so
Yeah. Letty's admonishing you for your sins.
Yes, I'm so very sorry, judgment dog.
Yeah. She could see your soul.
Yeah, so there was sort of lots of celebrities. There were some there that were really, really nice, and there were some there that were real knobheads.
Give us a rundown of late 90s, early noughties celebrities.
I'll tell you who was surprisingly uptight on the golf course, and that was Bobby Davro.
Really?
Bobby Davro.
Yeah.
Now he had a brother, didn't he? That looked kind of really similar. Twin? Is that right?
That was Jimmy Davro.
Was it?
No.
So another Jim.
But I'll tell you who was quite
sweetheart,
a nice guy. Brian Connolly.
Who?
Brian Connolly.
Oh yeah.
It's a puppet.
Oh right.
Yeah, Brian Connolly. He was quite nice.
I used to love Saturday Night TV.
Yeah,
with him on.
Yeah,
fucking great.
Was it exclusively Saturday Night Variety host?
No. There was also like Steve Davis, the snooker player.
Was it anything other than Saturday Night Variety host?
There was a guy there. Jim Davidson. Who else was there? That I really remember? Barry from EastEnders.
Hey!
He was a week. He wasn't just Saturdays.
He was a real sweetheart.
I bumped into. Well, my big claim to fame with Barry from EastEnders is me and my cousin were playing pool in one of the Herne Bay arcades because he lives locally.
Yes.
And we were playing pool, and I looked up and I sort of knocked Sam in the side, and I went, "Is that Barry from EastEnders?" I'm not sure if that's Barry from EastEnders. And it was during the time where he'd lost a lot of weight, and I went, "No, it's too thin to be Barry from EastEnders." And he looked right round at me and gave me the worst look, and I was just like, "That is Barry from EastEnders, just fuck off." And we just sort of walked out. He was there with his kid and what looked like his mother. I don't know, unless his wife is.
That's a compliment, right? Someone went to me, that's not right. That's too thin to be Roscoe.
No,
I'll be like, thank you very much.
Yeah, but that is sort of turning around and saying, "Yes, I know you as a fat man."
Yeah. Also, I refer to him as Barry from EastEnders.
Yeah, as everybody does. Yeah. He doesn't even have a real name anymore.
Steve.
He's like fucking Mr. T. He's changed his name to Barry from EastEnders.
It's Steve something or other.
Sean Williamson.
That's it.
He's got a lovely voice though. He's a good singer, isn't he?
He's a really nice guy as well. He's a really nice guy. Yeah. Steve Davis, the snooker player, was really nice as well. I was sort of like, I got into his golf buggy as being like a bit of a cheeky 13-year-old scamp, and sort of I climbed past the security and I got into his golf buggy because at the end of the round, they were all sort of like congregating around this. It was a sort of big, like a mansion house or something like that.
Clubhouse.
Like a big clubhouse thing. And they were all sort of, filing in there, but obviously there was large crowds of people trying to get autographs and get photos with them or whatever. So they were sort of just
trying to get Bobby Davro's autograph.
Dan.
Well, I've got it. So do with that information as you will.
I'm gonna whip that one out at your wedding.
But it was shortly after. Remember, there was a TV show in the sort of early noughties where celebrities did like high diving. Like the first series of that, it was called like The Jump or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
And the celebrities had to do high diving, and Bobby Davro famously dived from quite a high board and belly flopped.
Oh,
I remember that.
Yeah, that might have been why he was so uptight, because there was just a crowd of like 13-year-old kids around him. As soon as I got there, he signed it, and I said, Can you sign it? And then give me a scale out of 10 how much that belly flop hurt, and he just went, no. It must have hurt.
Yeah.
Also, he was still like flat at the time.
Bright pink on one
He
was 2D. Steve Davis was a nice guy. I climbed in his golf cart, and then the security was like, get off. And he was like, oh, it's all right. So I drove around in his golf buggy with him. And we went round to the...
Bought you a beer?
Yeah, I'd stuffed all of his cigarettes and golf balls up my sleeves. all the money he'd earned for charity that day, stuffed that up the socks.
It's all right, because Dan gave a $5 at charity that night.
And one of Steve Davis's Super Kings.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
So have we solved this then?
Not
with
really.
the capsule cars?
Well, I think you'll get used to it. I think the more you drive, the more you get used to it. And I think maybe a different car would be more comfortable. You just have a nice Jag, Dan. There's nothing quite like a nice Jag for a long motorway drive.
Change any of that. It gives you a slightly more comfortable seat. You could put me in
an easier drive.
Mate, you could put me in a lazy boy.
Yeah.
And in 5 minutes I need to move and shift around.
Yeah. You need a chauffeur.
I need a chauffeur.
Go for chauffeur.
That's what I need. I need a fucking chauffeur. What are you doing these days, Ross?
Well, for the right amount of money, anything, Dan.
What about, because you're a car enthusiast?
Yes.
If I
do I get to drive a Vauxhall Astra?
I get a nice. I will lease a nice car.
Yeah.
But you have to drive it for free.
Fine.
But you get to drive the car.
What car is it?
Well, what car? Like, there's no money involved. There's no cap on this. There's no remuneration involved here, right? But the deal is, I will pick a car. The car you want to drive most in your life, right? I just want to see at what point you would be willing to drive a car every day for no money, but just because you get to drive that car. Because I'm not into cars as much as you are. There's no car in the world that could ever make me do it. You wouldn't like the chauffeur
service I was offering if I was in the car that I wanted to own.
Right. What are we talking?
I don't know. I probably would have a high-end Porsche of some kind, 911 GT3. I'd probably have a McLaren, maybe something like that. But there wouldn't be any back seats, so you'd be up front with me. Is that all right?
It's fine.
You're all right with that? And we'd be sideways some of the time.
I can probably get a little dividing curtain.
It's all right.
How are you feeling this morning, Dan?
Get to a junction. Am I clear? Can't see what cars are coming from the left.
I'll put some loads of mirrors on the side. It'll be like a fucking wacky races
almost
car.
As if you weren't there. Consider it done.
Do you know what I did hear though this week? That
please tell me it's a
there were actually trials of an idea that we came up with a little while ago, and that is a train that that sort of catches up and that never stops. We've discussed this idea before, that a train, if it comes into the station, that there's a train. They tried to make a train which never stopped.
Yeah.
So
like a carriage come off or something, and then the carriage would join on.
So basically, you get in at the station and it will zip off, right, and then it would catch up with the train that had just gone past, and then attach and then continue on. And
what's the advantages of that?
Whereas the train you get on never stops. So if you're doing something long distance,
oh right, yeah.
Because the thing is, if you're only going, so I'll give you an example. Like
I get that.
The train that I was on today went from London to Nottingham, right, and then my stop was in Leicester.
Yeah.
Right? So, for example, on the way back, you go in Nottingham, Leicester, London, right? So that Nottingham train would set off high speed, whatever it is, 130 miles an hour, something like that.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, kilometers per hour. Would set off.
I think it's about that. That miles an hour, yeah.
And then just at the right time, my carriage, powered carriage from Leicester would set off, and they would meet up on the tracks, and then they would join. So then you could turn conserve energy on the one that I've just got in from Leicester, because that can turn off, and the train from Nottingham hasn't stopped, and then it just couples up and then can go up to full speed.
So you're literally just getting up. You only ever stop at your stop.
Yes.
Amazing.
Did it work?
Well, I don't know. I assume not, because they haven't started implementing it. But I can imagine you would have to change a lot of infrastructure.
And everything,
wouldn't you?
A lot of sidings.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it though.
But some of these ideas that we've come up with on this podcast, they've legitimately sort of had a go at.
It's because some of the stuff we come up with is just common sense.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yes.
What does need the main problem that I have with fucking getting a train though is is not the London to wherever in the UK that only takes like 2 hours anywhere in the fucking United Kingdom. Like, it's ridiculous. It's the bit to London.
Yeah.
I mean, like that bloody train to Leicester today is like we were in first class. It was only like 25 quid return.
Yeah.
And you're there.
It's nothing, is it?
You're there in just over an hour. But the 50-minute train journey from my house to London cost fucking 70 quid return. It's
Yeah,
like
crazy.
fucking pain in the arse.
Southeastern, mate.
Oh, it's fucking awful. Just awful.
Yeah, I do it often. I hate them. And they make you late. And what did you get over the tannoy? We're sorry for the delay. There was a train stopped ahead. Well, yeah, it probably was one of your trains.
We were lucky today, actually, because I thought I was going to be calling up to cancel because there was an announcement saying about some delays down in the Kent area because a train had hit a van.
A van?
A van?
What?
How the fuck's a train hitting a van?
Well, if a van stops on a level crossing,
What kind of fucking idiot does that?
a van driver.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Logic.
Yeah. Brains don't come for free, do they?
Fucking hell.
I tell you what, though, it's as quick going from Canterbury to Charing Cross, say, than it is to go from Crayford, Zone 6, this is,
Yeah.
an hour up the road to Charing Cross.
Oh, it's some of it's ridiculous. My boss lives just off of the M25, so like driving routes, fantastic. But if he gets the train into London, it takes him an hour and a half to get in.
It's the weirdest thing, right? Because if I drove from where Jem lives in Dartford / Crayford, whatever, and there was no traffic, and I drove to Charing Cross, it would take me 25 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that you or the dog?
that was me.
First klaxon has sounded.
It's just insane, really. Just the distance.
Sorry, it was my clown shoe. I was just shifting in my chair.
The distance involved
Yeah.
versus the time it takes to get there it just beggars belief.
Transportation is a nightmare at the moment.
Yes.
Something's very, very wrong with it.
The infrastructure is old. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We need trains that don't never stop.
That's
These
it.
fucking flying cars or some shit.
We do.
We could go Blade Runner on this shit.
What about that thing that Batman's got where he fires that thing up into the... He's got like that balloon and the aeroplane
Halo
catches him?
jump.
I thought it was called a sky something.
Skyhook.
Skyhook.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah,
Skyhook.
but you do it after doing a Halo jump, which is from a moving plane.
Right. I'm up for that. I'm up for Halo jumping into work and then skyhooking my way home.
Like your second day on the job, I cannot come in today. Why? Severe whiplash.
I missed my skyhook. I missed my landing patch.
I wouldn't mind. So that is actually not a bad idea. You know, like a ski lift.
Yes.
Like
We just catch it.
get
Off you go.
those.
When you
get-
see your station
get
coming
those
up, you jump
all-
off and then ski up to your little
all the
stop.
way around the UK. Tell me, you wouldn't mind that.
I would.
Go Kent to London. In the same amount of time it takes to get a train. 50 minutes. You just jump on a little platform and hold on for dear life. Wake you up in the morning,
80
wouldn't
miles
it?
an hour.
If it was cheaper and it meant I could get to work on time, I'd be up for it.
You wouldn't need a coffee, would you?
No.
On a brisk winter morning.
It would definitely blow the cobwebs away.
Take that over Southeastern any day.
Yeah. Take that over fucking delays any day.
All right, well, I suppose I'm just going to have to fucking sit it out then. I can't afford a McLaren.
No, you could replace just one seat in your car, so it's more comfy for you.
Put a lazy boy in there.
Yeah, that's it. Put a lazy boy in there with a
Nice.
seatbelt around it.
Other
And a
brands,
nice massage setting.
other brands of premium chair are available.
Are they?
Yeah, Barker Lounger.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Barker Lounger. Oh, yes.
You should try it one day, just for a day. Rent yourself a nice car, like a new Jag or a Beamer or a Merc or something, and do a long drive.
That's not fair though.
And do a long
doing it
drive
for
and then
one
see
day,
how you
is it?
feel. Because I don't know.
That's like putting a nice steak dinner in front of Dom on his vegan week.
Yeah.
Just taste it, Dom. Just taste it. And no, sorry, for the rest of the week you've got to go back vegan.
You're getting to the point now where you could have, for the money you've got spent on that, you could afford something fairly premium with some high miles on it, and you could just shoot up and down and it'd be like comfy, cozy. But like you say, you fidget in. If your fidgeting's your problem, then you ain't ever going to fix that.
Yeah, I need to fix the fidgeting.
No.
All right, fine. Well, I'm screwed then.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need an extra gear and cruise control, Dan. That's what you need.
Don't think that's going to help. Wrap it up, bartender.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm hosting.
It's our new
We need to
D-Dog.
name it.
Oh, dear.
I think
I
Steve
think that's a
Davis'
terrible
Super
name.
Kings was not a bad one.
Nicking Steve Davis' Super Kings.
Nicking Steve Davis' Super Kings. Bobby Davro dead.
I don't think so.
It's last Siri.
Yeah.
Hey, Siri. Is Bobby Davro dead? No, he's still going. He lives in Middlesex.
He's only 59. surprisingly.
It's Bobby Davro Dead. It's a good name.
Here's
Made
Bobby
his
Davro.
breakthrough in Live from Her Majesty's. That's it. Live from Her Majesty's. That's what he made his money from.
Oh, there you go.
Live from Her Majesty's Pantaloons, Bloomers.
You knock it off. Going home in a minute. The dog is impatient.
I can't come up with anything else.
I was trying to think of something to do with fidgeting, but I can't.
Fidget Jimmer.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Hello, Fidget Jimmer.
You do that? I'm up for it.
Yeah, Fidget
Okay, fine.
Not our best. But...
Where's Monday?
We got the Mondays.
Right, so the name is Fidget Jimmer.
It gets more ridiculous the more you say it.
I
It's one of those-
The more
it's like that
ridiculous it
video of that guy popping out of the bin dressed as a werewolf getting punched in the face. That's one that gets funnier every time you watch
Yeah.
it.
But the more ridiculous it gets, the more I like it.
Yeah, Fidget Jimmer it is. So, here we are, the end of another episode. Welcome to the end. This is the end. My only friend, the M. Going back to Jim Morrison earlier.
All right.
And the Doors. If you want to get in contact with us, you can go to our website, which is called stickitpod.com. Has links to all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and various. You can also email us at flingit@stickitpod.com. That's flingit@stickitpod.com. Send us your problems, your complaints, your compliments, your anything really, your philosophical musings on the name Jim. Who knows? Maybe you also have Bobby Davro's autograph and want to get on the party. Maybe you once nicked Steve Davis's fags. Who knows?
Nick Steve. Fucking thanks.
For this week. This
Why would I steal Davis's fag?
For this week, this has been See If It Sticks. I'm Dom.
I'm Ross.
And I'm Jim.
Big break!